Hi guys, today we're going to replace the inner and outer CV boots on this Honda Foreman 400. This process is similar on pretty much any four-wheel drive ATV, so you can use this on pretty much anyone. But I'm going to show you on this Honda here and take a look at that and see how it goes. First thing we're going to do is take off the rim here and the tire. I already have it jacked up front end on some blocks. 17 millimeter socket. Once we got the wheel off, what we're going to do here is we're going to pop the bottom A-arm knuckle bolt off, and we're going to pop this shock bolt off here so that we are able to move the shock out of the way and get this whole assembly to move up out of the way. I might strap it up, and then we can pull out the arm, or the CV drive out of the transmission. And I will have to pull this bolt off to do that as well. So we'll get going on that. First thing to do is bend this cotter pin. Okay, so that's out. And then we'll get a wrench for that. So this size here is 22 millimeters, and we're gonna pop this off. I used the brake here, give me some pressure. See if it works. That is tight. Okay, well, like always, it'll be some fun. There we go. Okay. A little extra force with the foot there. That always seems to help. I don't think this brake drum is going to come off real easy either. These are original 1996 pads in this drum, so apparently they come off very easily. Huh. Super surprised. We'll clean this up and take a look at that later. I am amazed that came off like that. Usually there's a big ring ground in these things. Maybe the previous owner to this thing just never used the front brakes. That'd be my guess, I guess. We'll clean these up later on. So now what we've got here, you can see, is our torn boot right there. These things seem okay yet. They don't clunk too much. So we're just going to be hopeful that the boot is all we need. Now on the bottom here of this knuckle, there's another cotter pin. So I'm going to work that out. This one's a real small one, so you can actually bend it with your fingers pretty easy. And then I'm going to, again, take a wrench and take that bottom nut off. And it is a 17 millimeter. That comes off nicely. I don't have a splitter for these because these are actually pressed in. What I've had luck with is tapping on the bottom of the nut after it's backed off the bottom of the bolt a little bit. So the bolt head is there. I want the nut coming out below that so that I don't damage the threads on the end, and then I'll tap on that with a hammer. Usually comes out. The hammering was the trick. Just a lot of rapid fire hammering, short little pounds, taps. Eventually it comes out. It took me about 5 minutes of doing it, but it popped out. You're talking probably moving it 10,000ths of an inch at once. So now what we got here is you take this out like so. Okay, and you can check your bearing condition, get rid of any weeds and stuff in there. I'm pretty sure my bearings are good. And what I'm going to do is strap this up and out of the way for now. I don't know what I do in my life without 10,000 ratchet straps. Seems to be a use for them all the time. I'll probably just put this up here. There we go. Okay, that gets it out of the way enough where I can get a little hold and get a more straight shot here. So now what we got to do is we got to grab this. I'm going to put some gloves on for that and then pull it out. There's an O-ring in there that sometimes makes this difficult, but we'll see. It's not always bad. There it is. So here we go. Got this out. Now what we've got to do is take this apart. We'll get this over on a bench and we'll go from there. All right, we're here at the workbench, and you can see I have the drive shaft here, the front drive shaft, from the Honda Foreman out on a fresh piece of cardboard. And the first thing I want to do is just take a look again at everything. This one's it's a little loose, but guess what? I'm not going to replace it until it fails. There's a little looseness there. Not too worried about it. What I want to do to start here is actually pull all these clips off from the rubber boots, and I actually like these clips. Whenever I see this style of clip on a boot, I tend to try to keep it because a lot of times the new boots don't have this style of clip. Notice I'll put all the parts kind of together one side. As you can see, the inboard part number here is CV B161, and the outboard here is also CV B161. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this down, and what I'm going to do is take a paper towel and clean up this side here. Get all that grease off of there. We do have new boot grease in with the new kit. Move this one down. Clean this off. You can see this one had sucked in a little bit of grass already. Probably some dust, all the things that are bad, right? So that's why we have to get on these right away. This one I don't think went very far with a worn boot, just because it had been sitting a while, and I think after it was taken out again, the rubber had just cracked. Okay, so to take this apart, it's hard to see on film here, but there is a clip in here. There's a clip right here, and this is the inboard side. And what we got to do is just pop that out. Okay, so that's out, and then this whole cup assembly slides out, and I'm going to leave that there for now. We can do some more cleanup on it. Inspect all the parts. If there's any balls that in here that were cracked or rounded or flattened out, I'd be concerned. So then what we can do is get to the back side here, and when we get to the back side, there's a C-clip on here, and we'll get a pliers for taking that off. Okay, so that's off. Just going to wipe that off quickly with this rag. All these parts I'm going to dip in diesel fuel. I actually use that just as a cheap degreaser. And when I'm done with that, I can always burn it in the fire or whatever. Okay, so just keep in mind how this goes on here. So this is the inboard side, and you'll see the cone shape is wider towards the machine and tapers out towards the shaft, so that'll be important putting this back together. Here's a little C-clip that actually holds it in the transmission, the differential in the front. That can stay on, we don't need to mess with that. I just like cleaning these out really well because we got all new grease, and I've got lots of rags. Okay, now we can slide everything off of this side. Put that over here, and we're going to slide this guy off here, and then this one. Okay, so then we're left with this end, and we're going to start cleaning that up. This thing is really smooth. Like when you turn it, there's no grinding or anything there, so I'm really happy with that situation. Now what I have to do is clean this up a bit. Rather than take this all apart, what I'm going to do is do my diesel dip, and that will allow me to just flush this out a bunch and save some time. I'm back with my diesel dip here. It's just a tub with some diesel and old grease in it, and like you can see here, what I'm going to do is just dump this in there and move it around, and really what it's going to do is just kind of clean off all the old grease, get anything out of there. I set this down on the bottom, and I can actually kind of articulate the knuckle right down in there. So I think we're in pretty good shape here. I don't see a lot more grease working around in there. It's pretty dilute. So what I'm going to do now is just let it sit for a while upside down to get that diesel out of there. Any of the real light stuff now that's mixed in there can drift out and then dry off a little bit. Diesel also cleans up all the other stuff off the end here. Really nice and clean. And it keeps it fairly lubed too, right? It's basically a light oil. It's not fuel oil, so it's a great job of cutting grease, cleaning up. It's cheap. It's not explosive like gasoline, and we're pretty much ready for rebuilding here. Like I said, I will let it dry a little bit before I do this. Next, we'll show you the rebuilding process after this dries off for a bit, and get this put back together and back on the machine. All right, we're back at it here with the new parts, and there's two different CV boots that I got, and the goofy one here that's not quite the same all the way through, that's actually the inner boot, and this one that's more normal distribution of ridges here is the outer. So what we need to do is first pack our grease into the joint, and then we're going to slide this in and then put our bands back on. Like I was saying before, these boots typically come with these like notched bands, and it's a lot easier to use a tool with these. I don't have that tool. I do it just with pliers. It works. But I don't like these. I actually like the stock ones much better, so I'm going to reuse these. So first things first is we're going to open up some of these grease packets and get it filled up. Okay, and what I would like to do is get this on here first, so that if I do mess up with the grease anyways, I can quick put the boot on. Work it down in there, and I kind of squeeze it in, get it into the bearings, and push it, move it around. If I keep a small opening for the hole there when I cut it, I can actually kind of force it down in there. And the amount of grease here is typically the amount that you need to use. So they give you a lot of grease, and there's a reason for that, is really you want to fill up that whole cavity as well as mound it on top of there. So really try to work that grease in. Okay, so I got that in there quite a bit. Now I'm just going to work it into the center here, around the center, so it's a lot easier to get the boot on without a ton of grease all over. Okay, so I got that on the edge, over the edge. Now I'm going to clean this up. Okay, so now, remember before we had this stuff lined up on the tables, we know that this side here goes on this. And what you want to do is make sure that these go on the same way, so that when the shaft is rotating, it actually helps keep these tight and doesn't get knocked off. And there it is. So now we have a new CV joint, or CV boots, and we're ready to go. So this will get reinstalled. No need to show you that. You already saw it came out, goes back the opposite way. So hopefully this helped you out, and you see it's not that hard to do. See a couple different things that I like to do, like saving these clips, and just taking your time. Simple job.
If you're enjoying this content, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.